Hey there, Darren Garman, and welcome to this episode of the Heartland Multifamily Show, where you are at the channel, you are at the place for all things multifamily. Hey, I'm really looking forward to this episode because we're going to cover the 3 must-do strategies when it comes to multifamily employees. And the really good thing about this episode is no matter how much you are involved in multifamily right now, maybe you don't have any multifamily right now, but if you're looking to have some, this is going to be an important episode. Maybe you've got just a few multifamily units. Well, if you want to grow and you want to scale, important episode. Or maybe you're at a considerable size, but you still want to continue to grow and scale and be more strategic. No matter the case, when it comes to multifamily employees and the 3 must-implement strategies, you're going to want to tune in to this episode. Welcome to the Heartland Multifamily Show, the shorter, more profitable path to multifamily ownership and investing. All right, before we get into the 3 must-implement multifamily strategies when it comes to employees, hey, a couple things. First of all, you are at the channel for all things multifamily, so make sure you click the subscribe button and join the other subscribers. You're going to be glad you did. You don't want to miss out on any multifamily information that you can use. The second thing is I'd love to hear from you. So if you like what you hear, if you want to provide me feedback, give me some feedback. I'd love to hear your comments and would love to respond to you. All right, let's go over those 3 must-implement multifamily strategies when it comes to employees. So let's start with the first one. The first one is when it comes to relatives, people close to you, your friends, and many times you're going to have not only the ability to hire them, a friend, relative, but also if someone like that is working for you now, you may have the ability to promote them. Here's the lesson and here's the strategy. No matter what the case is, anybody close to you, friend, relative, and they work for you, they always start and work their way up from the bottom. That's strategy number 1 when it comes to multifamily employees. Anyone that is a relative of yours, that is a friend of yours, that's close to you, hey, they got to start at the bottom and they got to work their way up. They got to be at the bottom level to be promoted on their way up. The worst thing you can do, hire your daughter fresh out of college and put your daughter in a position of making decisions when A, your daughter doesn't have any experience in making decisions, okay, when it comes to multifamily ownership, capital raising, investing, asset management. Secondly, if you have existing employees, what kind of reaction do you think employees that have worked for you for months or even years are going to have when you go ahead and you just simply insert a relative in that position? What kind of respect do you think those employees are going to have for your son or your daughter that you put into the vice president role or the assistant to the president role? It's not going to be good because 2 things. Number 1, there's no algorithm for experience. So they've got to gain that experience in order to be as effective as they can be for your multifamily business. I know that sounds obvious, but I've seen this mistake time and time again where multifamily owners and operators will put in friends and relatives. They'll put them behind a desk right away when they have absolutely no experience or maybe just a little experience in the position that they're in. Bad move. Not only that, it creates discontent among your other employees because how much respect do you think they'll have for your son or your daughter or your friend that doesn't have the kind of experience that maybe they have in the multifamily business? It's not going to go well. Number 1, implement strategy when it comes to multifamily is simply this with employees. If it's a friend or a relative, they've got to start at the bottom of the ladder and work their way up, okay? They don't come in, sit behind a desk right away and start making decisions. Bad idea. That's number 1. All right, let's go to number 2. Only 30 years to figure this one out. And I'm going to tell it to you now. So, by the way, I just saved you 30 years. Is what I did. So, here is number 2. When it comes to hiring within your multifamily organization, and this is in any area, whether it's property management, asset management, capital raising, wherever it is. When it comes to hiring and promoting, you do what's best for the culture, not what's best for the position. I'm going to say that again. You do what's best for your company culture when it comes to hiring, when it comes to promoting, not what's best for the position. Or another way to say it is, you don't hire or promote for the position, you hire and promote for what's best for the culture. I spent years and years, I just told you 30 making this mistake. I would continually, I'd find a resume, perfect fit, let's hire him. It wouldn't work out. Okay, I'd promote from within, perfect experience, didn't work out. Why? Because they didn't fit the culture and the role of that culture at that time. And that's not to say that every time we made a new hire or promoted, it didn't work out. Many did, and many worked out great. But I can tell you, we've had so many that didn't, that the lesson that I learned, and again, it took me a long time to learn it, is you always hire and you always promote for what's good for the culture, and that will continue to grow and expand the culture that you're looking, your vision that you want, not just for the position. Look, the worst thing that we did for many years, as I mentioned, is we'd have a position, we'd find somebody, resume was perfect, we put them in there and they wouldn't work out. Instead of, if we talk to, let's say, new candidates, we talk to somebody within the organization about a promotion, and we know that they don't have the skills yet, we know that they don't have the experience yet, but we know they're going to be a great fit for our culture, for our vision, man, we hire them. That's who we go for. Now that is unconventional. That is the opposite way of how most people operate, but I'm telling you, that one strategy alone will allow you to grow faster, scale faster, with less headaches and with expending less energy. So again, hire for culture, promote for culture, don't hire and promote simply for position. That's multifamily must-do employee strategy number 2. So let's go into multifamily must-do strategy number 3 when it comes to employees. And it's simply this. Now, I don't take credit for this. I think like President Reagan must have said this. I think this is where I got it from. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll talk about it a little bit. It's trust but verify. With every employee that you have, no matter where they're working, again, management, asset management, capital raising, wherever they're working, you want to trust that they're doing the work necessary. You want to trust that they're doing the work to make the vision become a reality. Heck, you even want to trust that they're doing more than they usually would because they really believe in what they're doing. They love their job, they love what they're up to, and they love working for you and your multifamily business. That's the ideal situation. And you trust in many cases that that's happening, but you got to verify that that's happening. So when it comes to everything from just mundane tasks, what I call daily cares of life tasks and work that maybe your employees are doing, all the way to some real high level stuff, you and or someone that you designate needs to be checking and making sure that they're doing the things not only that they're supposed to be doing, but the way that they're supposed to be doing it. Now, in no way am I saying that you micromanage every single step. Of course not. That's why I use the word trust. You trust that the work is getting done. You trust that it's getting done the way that you want it to get done so you can see your vision at the end of the day. But you got to verify it's happening. You can't simply just hope that it's working out. Hope that things are being executed, done, completed the way that you think they should. Because if you just put your business strategy in hope, that multifamily empire you're trying to build is not only going to be built a hell of a lot slower, it might be a decrease in holdings, not an increase in holdings, if you use hope as a strategy. Okay, so trust but verify with your employees. Now look, in this episode, we could have covered 3,000 strategies to use with employees, especially in multifamily. I mean, there's no shortage of books, podcasts, reports, you name it, newsletters, where it's all about how to really work well with employees. So this could have been a 5-hour episode easy. But when I sit down and I talk to multifamily investors and owners, when I hear about what's bothering them, what keeps them up at night, when it comes to employees, These 3 items are the main things that we discuss. So let's go over them again real quick, okay? Number 1, when it comes to people close to you, relative, friend, whether you're doing a new hire or you're promoting from within, they always start from the bottom and work their way up to deserve the next step. You never just give them the position. Bad idea. That's number 1. Number 2, you hire for culture, you don't hire for position. And then number 3, trust but verify. You get those 3 things locked in, and again, like I said, there's hundreds of others. If you get those 3 things locked in, your ability to grow, your ability to scale is going to be much easier, much faster, and by the way, you're going to have a hell of a lot more fun.